Welcome, and thank you for joining the Getting Started with SIMS tutorial series. The topic of this tutorial is entering projects manually into SIMS. The goals of this tutorial are to understand how projects and customer information are entered into SIMS, how to create a new project using the New button on the home page, entering your customer contact information, and also entering your project details. So let's start by understanding how data gets into SIMS. There are two ways that data gets into SIMS. The first way, and most common way, is through your WG commercial replicated site. Customers come to the site, download a document, and their information is automatically updated into SIMS, as well as an email being sent to you. The second way is for you to enter in the information manually. And that's what we'll be covering today. The process of entering a new project starts at the home page. The first thing you want to do is click on the New button. You'll be asked if you want to create a new project. If you do, click the Continue button. At this point, you will enter into the project viewer. The first thing you want to do is enter your customer's company information. To do this, you want to click on the blue logo right next to the title. When you do that, the Update Contact Firm Information screen appears. You will want to enter in the company name into two locations. The first location will be the short corporate name. This is commonly a name that people know the company, like Joe's Joint or HP. The second place you want to enter in the name is the full corporate name. This is the formal corporate name. So in this case we picked Joe's Bar and Grill, but in the latter example with HP, this would be Hewlett Packard. We want this formal title, so when you're sending correspondence like quotes, the formal method is used. Please ignore the short corporate name for local language or the full corporate name for local language at this time. Those two fields are reserved for Chinese, Japanese, and other non-English characters. Next, you want to enter in the address at the appropriate locations. And finally, the phone number. This would be the main phone number of the company. You may add other things like the company's website if you have that detail. When you are done entering in your information, make sure to click the Update button. When you click the Update button, you will come back to the project viewer. And you can see here that under the company title, you have the complete information for your company. Next, we want to enter in the contacts or people at that company. SIMS has the ability to enter in multiple contacts for a single location. In this tutorial, we will cover only entering in the primary contact. Entering secondary contacts will be covered in a separate tutorial. So let's move forward. To enter in a primary contact, click on the same blue logo next to the person title. This opens up the contact person information screen, and as you would expect, you would enter in the person's name and any other details you have about that customer, like his title or a suffix. You will notice at this point that the company information, address, etc. has already been put into the record. So the final thing you need to do here is enter in the person's email address. And if they have an alternate phone, like a cell phone or an extension of some sort, you would want to put that here. Again, click Update. So now you have your company and contact information into SIMS. The next step is to enter in the project details. The first thing you want to do is enter in your primary distributor code. This is your WowGreen distributor code. This allows SIMS to know that this project that you entered is yours. If you do not enter in your distributor ID here, SIMS will not know that you have access to this project and will not show it to you. So it's important to know that this is the first thing that you do. The second thing to do is to enter in the part number. Mostly when we enter in leads for the first time, we're not quite sure what product the customer wants. So the easy thing to do and the proper thing to do is to enter in product family. In this case, for WowGreen, the only product family we have is cleaners. So select cleaners from the pull-down menu. Third, we want to enter in the market segment. This allows Walgreen and yourself to understand where your business is coming from. It will allow the company and yourself to figure out where you're having your most success and where you're having difficulty. And you can design, and the company can design, marketing approaches to help improve that result. So in this case, we have several market segments that have been predefined. In this example, we will select a restaurant market segment. An important information field in the project details is the status code. What is a status code? Well, status codes are a way to track what stage of the sales process you are in at your customer. This is important because it's proven that with commercial customers there are specific steps that need to be done in order for you to move down the sales cycle and win the account. The status codes help you keep track of that. They also show Walgreen what stage you're in the sales process so they can help you best. Each status level means that specific things have been done and accomplished by you or your customer. The first status code is called a lead, and this is a brand new project where no contact has been made personally, but you have an idea that this customer would be interested. Or maybe there was a brief conversation and there's been no follow-up. This is the default status for all projects that are entered into SIMS. The second status code is called prospect. In this stage, you've contacted the customer and the customer has shown genuine interest in the Walgreen commercial product. The third stage is called engaged. In this stage, you've actually physically visited the customer or had extensive conversation over the phone back and forth. The customer is keenly interested in Walgreen product and you've given them a demonstration and even a quote. And finally, the fourth stage is the customer has become a customer. They have ordered product from Walgreen and Walgreen has issued a customer number. SIMS has several other status codes. These status codes fall out of the active projects segment, and this would be status codes like end of life, where your customer may have gone out of business or they no longer need cleaning products. Another status code is lost business. Maybe you lost the business to a competitor. And then obviously there's a status code called no lead. So a lead may come in over the website. You may call them up, email them, and there's no response. Our suggestion is that you follow up at least 3 times. You call them, email them, maybe call them again or email them again. If you do not get a response, mark them as a no lead and move on. And finally, if you have a project that you would like to delete, you can change the status code to delete and click update. In this case, this project is a lead. Now, if your project becomes a customer, you want to make sure that when you get the customer number from Walgreen, you put it into the registration field. This highlights and solidifies the fact that this project is yours, that you've done what is needed to be done to win the business. Please make sure that whenever you enter in or change data in the project details field or anywhere else in the project viewer that you click update. If you're done entering, you may also click the finish button and the window will be closed and you'll be able to move forward. So let's review. There are 2 ways to get customer data into SIMS. The first way is leads coming from the Walgreen commercial website. The second way is manual entry, which we just went through. New projects that are manually entered into SIMS begin by you clicking the new button on the home page. Now, entering your customer contact information. The 2 main topics are you enter the company information first and then you enter the primary contact person information second. When entering your project details, there are a few things to remember. Fill in as much data as you know into the project details section. Make sure that the first thing you do is enter in your Walgreen distributor ID number into the primary distributor field. And always enter your customer number into the registration field when you get it. And finally, make sure you click update or finish. If you don't, you will have to re-enter the information. Thank you for joining us and sitting through Getting Started with SIMS tutorial. The topic we covered today was entering projects manually into SIMS.